Hello everybody and welcome to our electivities, where today I want to jump onto this K-pop demon hunter. I can't believe I'm saying this. I want to hop on this bandwagon, and I'll tell you why. Because there were some posts I was seeing, and I watched it on my own because I thought it might be good. And somebody else was saying that they were really excited about it coming out, and I was like, well, maybe I'll check it out. I'll admit, I am not that person that's like, oh my god, K-pop! No, I don't really get that way about any kind of music, but I do love music, so I figured I'd check it out. And everybody's saying that they were getting that, like, as Equestria Girls, that one movie vibe. Absolutely. It brought me back to my childhood, and I absolutely loved it. So anyway, being on Instagram, I was seeing a bunch of people talking and roaring that they needed Genu to be back to life. Do I need to put a spoiler? Past me will know. Oh wait, no. Future me will know. I'm tired. Anyway, so doing that, I was sitting there and I'm like, I need to weigh in on this. So, I just saw this today, and I wanted to share this with you because now this was just like the catalyst for me to want to say something today about it. So, watch this. That moment kind of hurt me, though, not gonna lie. So anyway, so that, guys, was the first one I saw. That was what I saw today, and I was like, you know what? And I don't know why I'm saying no comments. There were some comments I thought I saw anyway. But anyway, everyone is saying, like, oh my god, we need to bring him back. Like, the creators need to bring him back. This poor creator, spitting now. This poor creator. Give her a minute. I don't think she expected this to be as amazing or as wanted as it's been getting. So, distractions away. So now this is another post that I saw that I sent to my friend. I absolutely loved it, and I really wanted to show this to you guys because this was something that got my little writing brain turning. Let's look, right? So it's this little comic. Okay, now at this point I really want to read it. So, Rumi, this is not fair. I don't like the corner, Rumi. Genu's corner. You had to take more care of it. My soul is in there, you know. I already said I was sorry. Accidentally dropped the sword in the mud. And that reminded me of something. Actually, show you guys the last, like, moments that I'm talking about. But, basically, I think it would be pretty cool. It, like, the whole soul thing seemed like he was going into the sword. And I think it would be really, really clever if they put that into the final bit. Like, if they ended up making a short series from it, or even making a sequel, I think that would be a really interesting concept to incorporate. I don't know if anybody else has talked about it, but I think it would be really fun. So, because of this, now, see, this is what I'm talking about. He's just a soul eater situation, right? Like, I would love this. Actually, I would love this. I feel like if his soul is being reabsorbed in a sense, then I think that would be really interesting. Yeah, I think so. I'm literally reading a fic about this right now. So I guess people are making this, but this needs to stop, guys. He's not, maybe he's not dead, but I don't think he's going back into a body, alright? But here's where I want to propose something, okay? Hear me out. So, this is starting off. Hold on, let me make this a little bigger. My eyeballs need bigger. 18. So, let's say we started with end of movie, right? So, like, if we ended with the end of the movie, so we had Genu equal dead, right? So, but if he also went into the sword, then yes, I realize I spelled it wrong. I can't spell to save my life. I don't even know how I'm going to be an English teacher, but I'm going to find a way, okay, guys? Oh my god. So, I would say expanding on this for future episodes, right? Or future movies, so future works. Hear me out. If we did something along the lines of it being now, Genu is like a part of the sword. Oh my god. And then they have it so that like, and it helps out the demon helpers. Oh my god, it helps out the demon hunters. Huntrix. Right? Maybe the crew knows. I'm gonna assume the crew knows because I feel like that would complete her character arc, that she finally trusts them and they finally are into acceptance, because clearly they're accepting of her, then they kind of have to be accepting of others. So Huntrix equal cool with Genu in sword. Okay, and so we're starting off there, but maybe and everything's good. Like all of that, everything is good. Everything works. It's all seamlined. What was it called? The Hamun. The Hamun is up and active. The golden, what did they call it? The golden thread. I'm gonna assume that they did. The golden thread equal normal, right? Because like it's going right, okay? Vision, everything's right, everything's good. But now, like something seeps, right? Demons lightly seep through cracks. Although, and so then that has to mean not a new demon king, but a rising, we're gonna say alpha, I don't have another word, alpha demon, not another demon king. That is too cliche. I'm thinking something like SDS, that stands for Seven Deadly Sins. If you guys haven't watched that show, 100% recommend watching, because that is an amazing show. Until they started ruining it, but it was still a great show. But it basically, in that show, the Demon King was not just immediately replaced, right? Like it was a different sort of thing, and I think that would be the best vibe to go with. So, hear me out. If now things start getting weird, right? So now people start going missing again. Going missing again, very slow paced, but noticeable. So Huntrix back in business. Okay, that is definitely not how you spell either of those, what I'm intending for. So they're back in business, but now Genu, hop back in with Genu. Genu wants to help, but he's also like in a sword, so he can't really do much, but he does help supercharge with his like, redeemed energy, right? I don't know, somebody else can flesh that out, or maybe even future me if I actually write this. So then that helps, right? Awesome. And if they all like are in a close enough vicinity, maybe even like his soul kind of reaches out to the other two. And then eventually, maybe several days later, he ends up finding himself like in some weird position, because now remember, over here he can he can either be an orb or he can like kind of be like this, right? I like that idea. So several days later, Genu, separate from sword, sees a demon sucking. I want to make that, that's not what I meant to put. Sucking a soul. Genu tries to stop it, but can't, and goes into the host body. Now this is where it gets interesting. Do we make this like a mini little falter in his part where he's like, I can have a body again, I can do whatever I want again, I can be me again? Or do we make this into Or do we make this into it was an accident, he didn't mean to, but there are consequences still, positive and negative. There's a difference. One is a falter in his character arc, which is perfectly fine because he's human. The other is completely accident, and all of his actions from here on are 100% on him. And I think that would just be very interesting. So we're going to make that two different options. So we're going to say A, accidentally goes into host body, or B, purposely goes into, oh gosh, host body, right? Cool, loving it. So either way, he is now in the host body. He avoids now. Is it 2 I's or 2 M's? I completely spelled it wrong in the first place. Okay, avoids Rumi for a small amount of time to get adjusted physically and mentally, right? I'm loving it. Why did I put a period? I never put periods. Okay, not in bullet points. I'm smart. Okay, so there's that, right? But then go either A, he runs into her, or she runs into him. She runs into him and recognizes him, or B, he comes in clean. Okay, I'm loving it. So here we are, right? We can have that. And then we can have, so then I absolutely just need Rumi to be peeved about it. Okay, and then but Jinu is going to be like, no. His feelings are going to be hurt, but he's like, no, it wasn't. Defends his case and explains. I feel like Jinu was always... How did I spell this wrong? Jinu. There we go. I feel like Jinu was always the person that was like, well, I'm explaining my case. So I think that would be helpful there. So going there, right? So I think this is all the stuff that would be really fun. So then from there, now Jinu has a body and constantly tries to help, but the body, no soul, acts weird. We can decide later whether or not it's deteriorating in a sense that's like his soul was never meant for that body. We can go down that route. We can go down the route of the body is literally trying to eject him because he wasn't meant for that body, but something into the effect of because his soul is not meant for body, right? So now we can get into more of the fun supernatural side of this universe, right? Because if we're working with any kind of mythology, and I'm going to be so honest, any Asian mythology is just so incredibly interesting because you have so much in it, right? Like you can't avoid how it feels so uneducated for me to talk like this, but it's just so interesting. You have, depending of course now on the culture, but you have this multitude of gods and at the same time multitude of demons. It's just like Greek mythology. Like how are you not going to look at it and go, interesting? You know what I mean? So I feel like exploring that like supernatural world for Jinu to keep his body, right? Like to force the body to then be like, no, accept me because you must. And so I think that would be interesting because then that would also force Jinu to have to, by the end, make the question, like, are you going to result revert back to whatever somewhat, and I feel like somebody has to gaslight him and be like, but that's demonic that you're trying to do because that's bad. Somebody has to do that. So someone gaslight him into thinking / feeling like he's whatever. He's demonic for wanting to have the body. Because, I mean, technically speaking, the soul is gone, and he's going to snap back with that. I do like that idea, actually, a lot. I'm writing it down. Snaps back with the body's soul is gone now. This is a very dangerous place when I start like being like, oh, this would be a really interesting line, because I will. If I were left to my own devices, I would be writing from here all the way to the end until this camera died. Like, you guys would just be seeing me write. It is not funny. Some people say, though, it's very interesting to watch me write, whether it's in a professional or creative setting. So let me know, you guys, if you want to actually see this, like at least see more of me like using more of my like having fun writing brain. But I really feel like this is going to be taken an extremely wrong way. It's not meant to be. And obviously, this someone is definitely going to now have to be Rumi. Likely motivated by another party. Okay. Okay. I think that's good. Before I start boring people. So, This feels fun. This feels interesting. I feel like this is, see, like guys, tell me you couldn't see this like coming to life, either in a script, in something. I know how to do script writing too. I learned. We can do this. I swear, this could be really fun. This could be a really interesting idea. Also, I don't know if I should admit this, but I have a, I do have a Wattpad. I'm not crazy on there. I just chill and I just exist. But on there, I'm not as active as I used to be, but this I feel like could be interesting to write for. So let me know if you guys would want to see something like that, because that would be interesting. Anyway, this was just what I wanted to rant to the world about. So thank you for being the ears for me to ramble to. So anyway, until next time, you guys, I'm RL Activities. Don't forget to be radical. Have a nice day.